In the early morning darkness, a figure sits on the edge of a bed. The world outside is still quiet because it is dawn. The air is thick and heavy, like a comfortable hug that makes you feel like you can't breathe. There's a stiffness and pain in the chest that isn't caused by physical strain but by the weight of feelings and words that aren't said or felt. The room is quiet, but there is a slow, constant throb that can be heard. The room feels cooler than it should, even with a soft blanket overhead. Like the leaves of a book caught in a windy breeze, memories come and go. Not many people remember the birthday party when they were kids, but a few people on social media sent their best wishes. An old picture shows someone forcing a smile. Their lips are thin and their eyes are big but empty, as if they didn't want to connect with the person before the picture was taken. A strange but interested person on the other end of the line asks, "How are you?" The answer is always the same. "I'm okay." It's like a chant that you say over and over again. It's a lie that's told so often that it winds around itself in painful truths, a web of lies that gets tighter with every nod, agreement, and laughing a little too late at someone else's jokes. When you're with friends, you laugh, but your heart feels empty as the laughter hits it. The warmth of their friendship barely hits their skin, let alone soaks in. It's like looking at life through a glass. On the other side, the world looks bright and alive, but on the other side, depression makes everything look gray. Then there's the mirror, where the eyes of a stranger look back at you. It looks like they're asking, "Who are you?" And the silence answers. There's pain even when there are no tears, because how can someone mourn the loss of something they never fully understood? The voice used to be very strong, but now it only has a weak front that is carefully kept up. Between day and night, there is no sign of the change. Even though tasks are done and responsibilities are met, it feels like you're swimming against a tide that keeps pulling you toward the edge of the abyss. When you're tired, your bones long for rest but can't quite get it. It's like reaching for an open hand that turns into mist when you touch it. The world is full of ways to feel alive, but everything is a blur here, in the middle of all the noise. It's a dance of shapes and colors that doesn't mean much. It's a life act where the steps are lost and only a bad imitation is left. When I go outside one day, the sky opens up to show that a sunrise is coming. The colors of the sky should make you feel all, but instead there's a lack, a desire to see even a small part of what those bright colors promise. As the new day slowly comes into being, the longing grows stronger, and the question, is there something waiting beyond the numbness? Floats in the air like dust particles. Somewhere in the fog of unrecognized pain, a quiet thread of awareness starts to make its way through. The way it sneaks in is like how dawn light seeps through curtains, making night less harsh. There's a memory that comes back to mind at a time that seems normal but has a subtle electric effect on you. A day that was just like any other, full of the dull sounds of habit. For a moment, there was silence. For a moment, the breath was held long enough to see something deep. Someone had written an old quote in the margins of a magazine while they were waiting in a quiet waiting room. The person looked up and saw it. "In the depths of winter, I finally learned that there was an invincible summer in me." The words stayed like thin strings of music, waking up something that had been asleep for a long time. It wasn't a big discovery, but there was a small spark of understanding that depths exist within depths. The base started to shake there, accompanied by the soft slide of feet and the drone of talks far away. It wasn't about to fall apart, but more like a slight shift. The understanding comes to you slowly, like a quiet note in a complicated harmony. Maybe pain is not the end, but a way to get to the other side. The memory slowly comes back to you, like flower petals opening to let the sun's warmth in. Because of heartbreak, the edges of everything became fuzzy, and the colors of the world became jumbled. But in the middle of the sadness, there was a moment when she stood alone under a big, empty sky. There were no more tears, and every part was stiff from being so tired. But when someone gave up and accepted how small they were in the vastness, a greater truth came to light. Life kept going, never giving up, never stopping its loops. The stars came into view, unmoved and steady. When I let go, my heart skipped a beat, like an old dance with the stars. It showed a simple truth: life went on, no matter how happy or sad people were. The awareness came to her slowly, like the first breath of spring after a harsh winter. A quiet knowledge that every moment of hopelessness contains the seed of a turning point, a word that doesn't speak of remedies but of continuing on. As the sun goes down and the stars start their slow dance across the sky, you get the sense that maybe there is a seed of change in the silence, slowly growing stronger, and leading you slowly but surely toward meaning that is hidden by the sounds of pain. If these words help you name something inside you that has been quiet, you're not by yourself. You can join us by joining. We're going down this road together. Shadows dance on the walls of a dark room, making it feel like a safe place to be. There is a soft, noticeable stillness in the air that wraps around everything like a new thought coming into being. There is an old desk by the window with an unread letter sitting there. It's the only sign of unsettled expectation. Its paper is a little yellowed, and the corners are curled up because time has worn its touch into the fibers. The letter has been there for months, an unanswered question mark in the story of life. It's a quiet reflection of the facts and talks that need to be had. This moment is both simple and deep, and it spans the huge gap between hopelessness and the tiniest hint of change. It has an energy that words can't quite describe, a weight and a lightness that reflect the chaos inside. There's more in the unread letter than what it says. It whispers of decisions that haven't been made and paths that haven't been taken yet. There is also a quiet push in that whisper, a push to open doors that have been shut for too long. A nearby piano that hasn't been played in a long time shows that time has passed. You used to be able to dance confidently on its keys, but now they're just gathering dust, like a soft blanket that blocks out any music that might be there. The letter and the piano both show a space between wanting and being afraid, a pause that is both safety and control. Its quiet is beautiful, filling the room with a vibration that you can just barely hear. It waits for the strength to play again, for when the quiet is too much to bear on its own. There's another heartbeat, a story unfolding, in this empty room. In some place, someone stands on a porch and hesitates. Their hand is perched in the air, unable to decide whether to reach for the handle or pull back. In every breath, the past and the future talk to each other. It's a choice of whether to stay or run, to accept what comes next or run away from what has been. And in that breath, something changes in a way that is hard to notice. It's the choice to stay a little longer, to let the silence rule until the sounds of footsteps fade away and a new beat takes its place. The world outside keeps dancing, and no one inside this quiet room knows about the huge changes going on inside. On the inside, though, the stop is a safe place where the edge of change can be seen, even if it hasn't been crossed yet. This pause, is it giving up or taking the first step, holds promise without the weight of expectation, a safe haven in a storm of doubt. Time stops here, in this silence, in the slow, gentle breath of the in-between. And maybe, just maybe, there's a hint of what's to come in this holy pause of silence. Every moment drags on. The air is heavy with things that aren't said. One letter, one note, or one breath that hasn't been spoken. The walls that were once built up like battlements of stone are starting to fall apart. This is not a sign of loss, but of a slow acceptance that being weak is actually a strength. It's honorable to go through sadness, to feel its weight, and not run away from it. It's like how a river smooths out rough rocks over time. Each breath is a small act of resistance and healing. What if your pain wasn't a flaw but a sign? These questions keep going through your mind. What if it was a map that pointed you to parts of yourself that need care instead of avoiding? It becomes clear that pain doesn't make you less capable. Instead, it makes you more able to understand, connect, and empathize. And there is a deep, relaxing stability in that growth. Here, in the soul, opposites dance delicately. Where hopelessness used to rule, a soft fortitude starts to make its fabric, one fragile thread at a time. There is now a steady silence where there used to be a hurrying noise, like wings spreading out ready to take off. In this place, the shift doesn't scream that it's there. It whispers through the spiral patterns of feeling and the soft bringing together of inner conflicts. It encourages thought, not as a demand, but as a gentle way to let the chance of change in. If this moment made you feel something, I'd love to hear what it made you think. If you want to share, leave a note. It seems like we're all going through something. In the stillness that comes after a storm, It feels holy, like everyone else is holding their breath with you. This lonely spot isn't a hole, it's a room softly filled with the sounds of everything that has been through. One light left on in the corner gives off a soft glow that doesn't fully get rid of the shadows or let them consume. It is a sign of being there, a gentle reminder that there is warmth even when you are by yourself, and an offer to stay when you feel like running is the only thing that will work. There is an old picture next to it. The edges are torn and the colors are dull from use. There are stories of laughter and tears in it, like a fabric of life shown in pictures. This picture is more than just a memory, it's a record of the trip. Each wrinkle is a sign of life, and each smile is an ode to strength. Understand that the silence around you no longer cuts as you sit here in this quiet place, it holds you. There is comfort in the gentle beat of someone else's breath that matches your own, and the understanding that comes from having been through hard times and rough nights. There are no answers or big movements from this soft presence next to you. It's just the comfort of another soul who has been through fire, and is now resting in the holy silence. Soft poetic images float through the air, like a light burning at the window, standing strong against the night and reminding us of hope that won't go out. Or maybe it's the soft movement of the trees outside. The branches move to the tune of strength, staying rooted but reaching for the sky. There are still questions and ways that haven't been explored in this place, but there is a deep peace in that. There are no endings or clear conclusions here. There is only the deep simplicity of being, of living in a place where every breath affirms life and every exhale lets go of what no longer serves. The silence is no longer a place of loneliness. It's now a place of link to something bigger, something that beats quietly below the surface and doesn't need to be called out. Stay in this holy calm for a while. It's where words fall away, leaving you with a pure, honest connection with yourself and the vastness that surrounds you. There is a steady grace to be found even when you don't know what's going on. Sit with the sounds of yourself. If this hits home with you in a quiet way, you might want to like the movie so that someone else feels less alone too. We stay in this moment of stillness with a presence that holds us gently and doesn't ask or expect anything in return. It's the peace that comes after a rough storm, or the quiet that follows seeing something holy. As I stand next to you as a quiet observer, there is no need for words or answers. It feels good to be surrounded by a silence that can see and understand without words. This long, quiet moment tells us that the deepest truths can sometimes be heard when there is no noise. This presence doesn't rush or push, it just stands next to us, letting us know that it understands the trip we've been on, the fire we've been through, and the strength we've found within. It's a friend on the way, filled with the sounds of our shared humanity. The quiet holds stories that words could never fully describe. This quiet place in the heart might be where we find the power we were looking for, not in confidence or big claims, but in the simple act of being with what is. It is silence that wraps around us and makes us feel like we're not alone, connecting us in the wonder of life and the breath of life. Allow yourself to be with yourself and the presence that waits for you while you sit here. Let the quiet hold you, and know that there is understanding even when there are no words. Just take a moment to recognize what you're carrying and what you've been through. Take a deep breath. If this message spoke to a quiet part of you, please think about giving the video a like so that other people can also feel less alone. It's possible that the quiet was never really empty. Thanks for seeing it. Sign up for the channel to become a part of our group. We'll see you next time.